Welcome to CML InfoTech. My name is Mohammed. We're talking about today Day 10, Part 2, trunking from Cisco CCNA. So we're talking about the trunking methodology. So here you can see let's say this is called dynamic. So you have three options. Either you need to configure access manually or trunk manually, or by default it will be dynamic. If it's dynamic, when you connect it to other side, it automatically negotiate, and to become the other side is switch, it become automatically trunk. So here we will be connecting a cable. We can start do the practicals. Let's say, hope you can see my screen. Here we have two switch. Okay, and we consumed port number until port number 6. So I'm going to connect the port. We need to connect the cross cable here. Cross cable. Let's say I'm going to connect the port number 23 from first switch, and to click on port number 22 on the second switch. For testing purpose, we can use any port. And it will take some time. This is, we will learn up from the spanning tree class. The port will be take nearly 50 seconds to become up. You can see here, this is the first switch. You can see the port number 23 is up now. So enable is the command, and show run. Then you need to remember there are certain shortcut command here. You need to put the pipeline. Okay, pipeline. Then space question mark. We can see a few commands here. So let's say exactly what you wanted to see, you can give with this command. Example, I'm going to give SEC. This is a short form of section. SEC space what you wanted to see. Let's say, for example, 0/23. This will give you a 0/23. There is no configuration on that port. Example, if I'm giving you /2, here you can see F0/2 will also have the command, and the rest of them which is matching with the 2. Or if you can give, let's say, session VLAN, you can see the VLAN information. This is going to be filter. Or instead you can give show run, enter, and give a space key, come down, and to see on the port number 23, you have nothing configured. You just, what you have done, connected a cable between two switches. That's it. Now, to see a port details, show interface, which interface you wanted to see, like a fast Ethernet 0/23, enter. Okay, show interface F0/23. You can see this port is up now and connected because we did physical connection. Okay, this is the one way to see the port. And show IP interface brief, another command to see the port status. Show interface brief. Here you can see port number 23. Port number 23 is up. Okay, and that port number 23 we used to connect between switches, and it became green, connected to switch, which I said is called as what we call for this trunking. Okay, so we need to see whether the trunking is being affected or not. For that, to see trunking, we have a separate command called show interface trunk. We cannot see any information on here. So let's say the command show interface F0/023 switch port. Here you can see show interface F0/23 switch port. Here you can see the port status is dynamic. Okay. We said there are three: dynamic, trunk, and access. By default, the port mode is dynamic. And you can see this encapsulation protocol negotiator. What is on the other side? We need to define the same. So in shortly, what we can do here, let's say you connected to switch and define the port number 0/22, 0/23 F0. We need to configure this port as a trunk. Okay, so the command would be interface F0/23 switch port trunk encapsulation. What encapsulation do you need? Generally, we're going to be configured .1q, which is open standard. There is another one called ISL, which is Cisco. Then switch port mode trunk. Okay, so that is a minimum configuration to enable a trunking between switches. So here config T interface F0/20. Okay, I'm going to give a description. What is the description? Connected to, let's say +++, connected to F0/22 of CML InfoTech. So by looking into this interface, you will come to know what is the purpose of this port. Then switch port trunk encapsulation. So here you can see only .1q. In some switches, you can also see ISL. Switch port mode trunk. Now it become trunk. Okay. Do right. Now you can see do show interface F0/23 switch port. Here you can see mode become trunk now. And there's a command to see the trunk port. Show interface trunk. Now you can see that port number 23 become trunking with the encapsulation protocol 802.1q, which is IEEE 802.1q open standard, and it allowed at all the VLANs. That is the default nature of the trunk port. It will allow all the VLANs. If you wanted to deny any specific VLAN, we can. We can deny all, we can allow all, or we can deny or allow something, whatever we need. So now it's become trunking. Okay. Now you're going to check on the other switch, on the second switch. Let's see. This is the second switch. Click. This is CML ASW1. Enable. Show interface F0/22 switch port. It is called dynamic auto, but automatically become trunk because we configure the other side trunk. Show interface trunk. We can see this is mode auto because we have not configured anything on this port. but still it became trunking because we configured one side as a trunk. So it got automatically negotiated. If you look into show run command and go to port number 22, you don't have any configuration on this port. So let's say config the interface F0/22. We'll put the description. What is the description says? Connected to F0/23 of CML CSW1 port switch. This is nothing but just to understand how they are connected each other. Switch port trunk encapsulation dot front. This is a shortcut command. Switch port mode trunk. No shell. Exit. Exit. Right memory for saving. Show interface trunk. It becomes trunking now. Show run. Here you can see if you go with the show run command, and you can see the port number 22 is what is the use of 22. By the description says that it's connected to port number 23 of the port switch 1. Why we needed this? Later on, after the implementation, when it goes to live, we don't have a chance to go and check by physically the port, the cable is connected to where. It's very difficult. Therefore, we will do a proper documentation, and in a worst case, if you could unable to address it, the physical connection, the least chance, do the refer of the configuration. Will refer the configuration. And the configuration should need all this info. That's mandatory. Now you can see that your two switches to become trunking. And trunking has been enabled. Now, how do we do test? We'll go to this PC1 and we'll try to ping to this PC. Let's say from PC10 to PC10. And if you see that PC10, the PC10 IP is IP configuration 10.4, 192.168, 10.4. This is the IP of the PC10, and the PC10 by physically located in switch 2, okay, or access switch, and we try to reach from PC1, which is connected to core switch. Okay, so we'll go to the PC1, click PC1, and go to desktop, and go to command prompt. Here you can see IP config. You can see the system IP is 10.1, and it's trying to ping 192.168.10.2. Yes, 10.5, 10.6. I said in the very beginning about ARP minus A. There you can see that the ARP protocol is used to collect the IP of the other system. If you try to ping to 10.4, the ARP table will collect the MAC of that system, because initially when you try to reach any far end devices, the source system doesn't know the MAC of the far end system. Therefore, they do process called ARP, inverse ARP. It will take time in the very beginning. Once they learn the content will be stored locally in the ARP table. Like PC1, done the initial staging, initial request with the ARP and the inverse ARP, and we came to know the far end 10.4 system MAC address. And that info is already stored in the ARP table of the PC1. Now, next time, when a PC1 start communicating to 10.4, they can collect needed information from the ARP table itself. So they will point it directly to that system, which is called unicast communication, unicast to frame. Now the system has been able to communicate each other from PC1 to any PCs within the same network. Same way we can try from 20.6 PC9, which is VLAN 20, and to let's say 20.2, which is PC again VLAN 20 PC5 from core switch. So which means what I was trying to explain. Now your trunk has been enabled. This is 22. This is 23. And you have a system here, which is, what is that system? Okay, PC 20.2, 5, 6. Okay. This is port number 5, 20.2. Here you have PC5, PC9. This is 6 port number, PC9. This is PC5, right? And this is 20.6. Okay. 192.168.20. Now, the traffic is moving from here like this. So when it crossing here, this is says VLAN 20 and come here. From here, VLAN 20 will remove because towards the system, VLAN details is not it. That VLAN is just during the trunking concept. Then it comes like port number 22, then here. They are in the same network, but on the different switch. In order to communicate same network on a different switch, we enable trunking by giving encapsulation .1q protocol. So .1q protocol will carry the VLAN info from source trunk port until the destination trunk port, or vice versa. That is a short story about enabling trunking. Let's say I'm connecting to PC9. This is PC9. Command prompts. IP config. This is 20.6. Ping 192.168.20.1. It will ping all the systems each other. Okay, now we have one more small topic to discuss. The protocol is called, hope you understand the trunking concept. The other protocol is called CDP, Cisco Discovery Protocol. The CDP is used to know the neighbor. Maybe in reality, you connected to one switch and you can see there are many connections, many cables moving from that switch. You know this switch and you connected to this switch, and you can see n number of cables going to another switch, another devices, but you do not know which devices are those. You don't have options to trace it by physically. Maybe it's in the data center. They are not allowing you to go, or if you enter to that room, it's very congested and you are afraid to touch the cable if the cable is loose or the cable is removed or unplugged by mistake from you. Don't know which service is going to be affected, which will be a big escalation then. Therefore, you are, or the IT engineer of the customer is not allowed you to touch anything by physically. So what is the alternate way to know that what device is connected to on which port? So in the switch, if you give a CDP command, you will come to know what is connected to on the other side. Cisco Discovery Protocol. Only one drawback it has, it only works with Cisco products. Okay. So what if you have non-Cisco devices connected each other, or one side is Cisco, on the other side is non-Cisco? How will you address it? Therefore, they introduced a new protocol called Lldp. Okay, so we're going to talk about first CDP, Cisco Discovery Protocol. To see the CDP, you need to do the command called show CDP neighbor is the command. Then what if Lldp? Show Lldp neighbor. Let us see on the first switch. We go to first switch. enable show CDP neighbor. You can see here you are in core switch 1, which is you connected your local interface, which is your core switch interface is port number 23, and you connected to the port number 22 of the ASW1, the other side of the switch. Okay, and what is the platform of that switch? That's a 3560 switch. Understood. This is your local interface of the core switch 1. If you look into the physical connection, you can see you connected to the core switch port number 23 and the other side of port number 22. So this is, let's say, this is F0/23. This is F0/22. You're connected in this way. And you are into now switch 1. You can see that port number 23 of the local switch connected to the port number 22 of the access switch. Same way, if you look into the second switch, this is CSW, and the second switch is called ASW. So CDP neighbor. You can see that the local interface is called 22, which is connected to the port number 23 of the core switch 1, the other side of this. If you have a multiple devices connected, I mean the switch or any other router, any devices, you can be able to see. Now, there's another command called detail. We will get a little more information about this. In detail, you can see what software it is and local interface, outgoing interface, IP of the far end switch, if any. We have configured already this IP address, and the duplex is full. So you'll get the detailed information about it. So Lldp label. You can see that Lldp is not enabled. By default, CDP is enabled on the switch. So to enable Lldp is nothing but same as CDP, but open standard. Lldp run is the command. So to enable the Lldp, what you need to do, you need to go to enable Lldp. Lldp is equal to CDP. Lldp is open standard. CDP is Cisco only. You need to go to enable, config T. From there, Lldp run, either capital letter or small letter. So let's say we have configured here courses. We can do config T, Lldp run to show right, do right number. Okay, now show Lldp neighbor. You can see the same informations that the local interface from the core switch 23 connected to the port number 22 of the other switch, and this switch has a capacity of even routing. And what is the neighbor switch name? And here also you have detail. You will get the detailed informations, like you are in core switch and you have asked about the details about the neighbor switch. You can see that port number 22 in detail. This is the port number. Then what is the name of that switch and system details. So you'll get the detailed information about the neighbor. Okay, recommended to run with the Lldp, because if you practice to run with the Lldp, majority of the real scenarios you cannot accept always in Cisco. You may get the Huawei, Aruba, HP, Hava, Stream, many different brands. So to check which are connected to those brands, you need to run with the Lldp command. Now we'll run here, write memory. Write memory command to save the command, show LLDP neighbor. You can see the same information that detailed. You can see here port number 23 and the far end switch name is CSW1, core switch W1, and the operating system details. Okay, so CDP and LLDP are doing the same function. CDP, Cisco proprietary protocol to see the neighbors who are connected. LLDP is an open standard to see who's on the other side being connected. Okay, so I recommended you to practice the trunking configuration between switches. For you to practice, just you need to run single VLAN between two switches, then connect the trunk cables. Okay, hope you understood the session today. I recommended you to do more practice. So here you can see dynamic auto and dynamic auto. Both the side of dynamic auto, you will never become a trunk port. Therefore, we couldn't see the trunk. We configured manually trunk. If one side is dynamic auto, the other side is you configured manually trunk, it will become trunk. I'll share you this documents to you. We have something more to discuss on the upcoming session. Okay. Fine. Going forward, we will increase our time slot to, let's say, for 1.5 to 2 hours, because we have more practice lab to practice, inshallah. Thank you. Have a great day. You can reach me back if you have any concern, doubt, inshallah. Thank you. Have a great day. From Muhammad from CML InfoTech.